This call is being recorded.
Alright, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions at all
Okay.
whatsoever. Right off the bat, I was really glad to see you were born in 1995 because that is definitely not only an amazing year that I look forward to creating a documentary for, but that is where we see the shift of Pluto into Sagittarius, bringing into form the creation of the new generation. Pluto in Sagittarius represents, of course, the 95 to 2008 chapter, which exemplifies this notion of the creation of the new world, in that us at Pluto Scorpio, we're going to destroy this order, and then Pluto Sagittarius, y'all create the new world relative to that. So Pluto Sagittarius is a part of the end of the Saturn cycle, the end of the world, Saturn in Pisces, and the new world order, Saturn in Aries. So you are a very important facet of this because you literally represent the bridge generation of, literal geniuses that not only bridge both generations, but with the Saturn in Pisces, you represent the end of that old cycle. And with Pluto and Sag, you represent the creation of this new world. Jupiter now in its dignity in Sag squares this. And so you now have what I like to call an ultimate legend. It's a technique that I'm very passionate about and that I'm going to expand upon, and is scientific proof that you are an utter badass and just so freaking amazing. I'm going to
Thank
share.
you.
Oh yeah, no, it's a huge deal. I'm very honored to even like do this. I have certain questions for you because um the rarity. Because first of all, not only is your sun in Scorpio, like you're literally the pure queen. So I'm gonna give you an alien construct article because oh yeah, you're one of us. You're alien gang. So not only do you have as a Capricorn rising Neptune and Uranus on your rising, which is a huge deal because this makes you an instrument of the two extra dimensional planets that denote some of the most supernatural abilities in the most powerful sign ever. Huge deal. But you also have Juno on your rising. So you're literally the instrument of the queen goddess, while you also have Pluto on your sun. Yeah, it's in Sagittarius, but 4 degrees away gives you that mastery, which we will still link to rulership of Scorpio, because 0 degrees Pluto in Sag is 30 degrees Scorpio Pluto. So you do have both of that. I don't believe in cusps, but that counts as a cusp to me. 0 degrees is the only cusp. But with that in being said, you have Pluto on your sun, Juno, Uranus, and Neptune on your rising. This is the art, and then Jupiter in the 12th house. Okay, the ultimate legend technique is when you have the ruler of your 12th in your 12th, you are the ruler, of course, and the lord of this legendary quality, because the legend in the zodiac is Pisces. Floyd Mayweather is 50-0. Rihanna is the crown treasure of Barbados, and on her own back, she built $1 billion company. Kanye West is Kanye West, and they all have Pisces energy. They're all legends. And so, based on this concept, 12th house energy is legendary. It's a legendary quality. Planets in the 12th house will denote and mark weaknesses that really come in the form of unconscious habits and beliefs we have to let go before they become our superpowers. And for you, it's this sense of wanderlust that may have you live in fear sometimes. But Jupiter here is a guardian angel. And not only is Jupiter in the 12th a guardian angel, you have it in the 12th house. It rules in Sag. It's a huge deal. On Mars and Venus, you're one of the most creative people alive. Like, this now represents the hidden talents you manifest as a Scorpio sun that you keep hidden, because this is the element as a Earth rising. We have resting bitch face. So we oh yeah, people think we all sad and angry, and the whole time, especially with the Sag, it's literally like an adventure and a party within your inner world. But then people see your face and it's like, oh my gosh, is she Wednesday Adams? But the whole time it's like, no, like when you're really trusting and comfortable with people, they get to see this mini adventure within you. Um, does that resonate, by the way, that 12th house aspect?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that's so awesome. Listen to me. Listen to me. I've read thousands of charts, literally. And when I see charts like yours, the astro nerd in me goes crazy because I watch a lot of fantasy and science fiction and anime, and like according to science, you don't exist, my friend. You exist in fantasy and anime. Like your existence is so controversial. Postmodern science will not acknowledge that you're real because the mechanics you have only exist in fantasy narratives. That's how important you are. Your north node is literally on the MC. I have that too. You're destined to be famous. Like you literally have to be a social leader as a creator of your community in the 11th house. You're someone who, oh my God, the bars are for my bad. This is so cool. You're someone who literally transforms collective communities you're around as a collective personality. Your moon and sun are social, but I want to really highlight and harp on, there's so much stuff, I'm going all over the place, my bad. Before I get into the alien constructs, I want to get into this ultimate legend. It's something that I learned from a Virgo rising Leo sun woman. In studying her chart, I learned about this technique. And I have this. A Taurus rising with the 12th house Aries Mars. Every single person who I'm studying and learned about that has this has something about them that sets them apart from others. It is a legitimate, like, if this was an anime, it's like your ultimate ability or technique. So I have to denote the rarity of this. First of all, Jupiter, right? The quality of ultimate magic you have, because of course you're a Cap rising. Cap rising makes you the director goddess. And then on top of that, so if you were just a Cap rising, that's a huge deal. And then you have Neptune and Uranus on your rising. That's a huger deal. And then you have Juno on that rising. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, this is every woman who, and even men, but specifically women who I do readings with, every single one of you that have Juno on your sun, moon, or rising, you always have it with something else that's crazy. Like, you're all queens. I've never met a single woman who has a Juno archetype that's not a queen, like that doesn't have Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, or Taurus. And I appreciate it because it confirms so much about my research that
Yeah.
Juno is the queen goddess. The husband of Juno is Jupiter, which in your case is a part of your ultimate legend. So keep that in mind because, there's a certain regal quality that you just possess. And it's very important because you have this Aquarius energy and, having that with the ultimate legend and this alien power, it makes sense why you're destined to be successful in this sense. You're using the resources of how comfortable you are with your identity and the understanding of your character that you build a lifestyle around as a resource to challenge yourself to transcend this lifestyle socially with other people and help other people balance a life that their beliefs can support with the right people. And so Chiron and Vesta here challenges you to align healing and your soul, because your soul is a vessel of the goddess Vesta and Chiron and destiny. So you take this balance, you are the vibration of classic purity or balanced wisdom. And so you can literally feel elements in people's characters. And as a Scorpio sun, it's going to hate because of how fake 99.99% of people are. But because you tap into the compassionate nature of their soul, in a very mature way, most people have trauma and most people aren't necessarily fake at all. It's just the behaviors that they have to deal with. Compassion like this can get you taken advantage of, but you're no fool. This is the Libra moon that helps you discern the nature of people's characters supernaturally. So, like, you don't need to know why you were able to tell that someone was a serial killer by the way they shook your hand. You're just going to tell your friend, yo, that dude is creepy. And I think he probably has bodies in their closet. And then your friends are going to be like, no, they're so nice. They bought me flowers. 2 weeks later, your friends are like, okay, they found bodies in his closet. How did you know? and you just like, I knew, I could just feel it. So this is cool because at the same time, you can meet a serial killer, have a conversation with the serial killer, talk to them and make them feel so seen, they stop killing people. It's like you can also like work with the most hardened or pure of people and like help them feel like they belong in some place, or like speak to them and not even be afraid. Because I mean, technically you represent death. Like you literally have Hades on your son. So who would you be afraid of? Like you have this queen goddess energy. You can snap your fingers and someone can get in a car accident if they do you wrong. But see, you're not the type of person that would abuse powers like that. You know, it's not something that you're wishing on people. This is just an automatic effect of people who operate with you out of integrity to protect you. Okay, so Jupiter in your 12th is like a guardian angel. It's reported that people who have this can walk out of car accidents untouched, but it's really because of this unconscious sense of luck and abundance. So the ruler of your 12th house, Sagittarius, is Jupiter in the 12th house. For an example, the gem goddess is a Sag rising. Sag risings, born, of course, during Pluto Scorpio, are all ultimate legends. It's a 248 year axis that's very legendary. The reason why this is very rare is because the odds of your rising sign being at 13 degrees Capricorn is literally like the Wheel of Fortune. If you've ever watched that show and you spin it,
Mhm.
the rising sign changes signs every hour. So like, or hour and a half. So for you to be born at that exact precision, you're incredible. And Capricorn has a lot to do with timing. So you do have time lordship here. Saturn ruling your chart is in Pisces, and the Saturn return you're going to get over the next 2 years is going to blossom the abilities that Saturn and Jupiter in your first house anchored as a part of this brand new 30-year and 12-year cycle that has brought in the integrity of your personality. This is where you started to see the effects of how incredible you are as an extraordinary being. Okay. So, relative to this, Gem Goddess, the Leo King's ex wife, is an example of this ultimate legend. She has close to 1 million followers, just giving like the dopest readings ever because she's an ultimate. Drake, Lord Slime, is one of us. He has an ultimate legend. 12th house, Cancer moon, self explanatory. Obviously, he's known for his feelings because with his ultimate, he can tap into the generation and literally influence how everyone feels, whether they hate on him or love him. Now, listen, you have one of the best ones because this is tied into this new generation. And the very important thing about y'all is you guys are the first people to awaken supernatural abilities on a godlike level. Sagittarius is the show me sign. So it's you guys that are going to show the world, hey, we're gods. Hi, we're creating a new world. And this is in the form of concepts, advancement of technology, metaphysical, scientific understandings. This is so important. And relative to this, Jupiter is going to highlight the creation and expansion of philosophy and this wild, freaky, adventurous sense of your spirituality that gives you this absolute vision. So with Mars and Venus here, yeah, you have the pure Scorpio consciousness with the objective, logical Libra moon. However, you manifest this very ascended, creative sense of ascension, of perspective that allows you to see into the meaning of experiences. But in the 12th, it's very misunderstood. You will see how things will play out before anyone knows. The reason why it's misunderstood is the way you can see it is in a way where no one else sees it turning out like that, but you influence with this level of belief the outcome. So this is where it could be hard if you don't believe in what you're manifesting, because
Mhm.
the Capricorn rising can psych you out with the Libra square and make you feel like it's in your head, and it's like you're delusional. You're not manifesting that. Like, what do you have some God complex to think that you're literally influencing the world's events? And no, you don't have a God complex. You're a goddess. So of course, this is why. And this is very hard to accept until 2020 moving forward, because science taught you that's bullshit. Like this only exists in fantasy, Aiko. Like you can't be out here thinking that you influence people like that. But then you realize the lie detector test determined they lied. No, you not only do this, it's your destiny. It's part of your karma. It's a responsibility. every single one of your thoughts warps reality and influences the experiences of the collectives. So you're going to find more and more increasingly your moods and how you feel and flash insights you think and visualize will impact the news stories you hear about. And people won't realize it's because of how you felt a certain way. And that type of responsibility is hard to process because, it can sometimes feel like a complex, but realistically, what this means is, in a sense, it's like when you try and rely on external 3D evidence of what you're seeing, it's like the Looney Tunes skit where you see a dancing frog and you're trying to show people, yo, this frog is dancing. And then when people look at it, it stops dancing. It's like, look, it's in your head. But when you don't care about people seeing the frog, what you're seeing happens. And it's like a quantum superposition principle. And it's like, whoa, it's a dancing frog. And no one knows that you're the reason why it's dancing. Like you're seeing it dance, it's making it dance. And it's not like you're controlling, because control is an illusion. It's more that you're guiding and directing. So um in that sense, you're going to gain a lot more advanced understanding after Saturn leaves Aquarius. But 12th house is a house of hidden talents. And so the weakness of this is this sense of wanderlust where you don't finish things because you are very excited and can get super distracted from everything that's occurring because you see everything at once. And it's an illusion. It's not that you're distracted, it's that the Sagittarius within you knows that everything around you is meaningless if you're not just having fun all the time. This is a perpetual belief where every facet of your life has to be like not, and Sagittarius isn't always about partying, but it's about the festivity and joy in living. So when you don't really express this, it'll get you in trouble. It's going to be the facet of you that always has to make fun out of a situation and will have you escape and want to travel, right? Thankfully, right, the element of your family helps you integrate this with them. But when you liberate this is now the ultimate vision to make everything creative. And you have this limitless ability to level up anything and manifest everything to the highest transcendent potential. And there's superpowers as a part of this that are only personal to you, that connected to Venus and Mars expand how creatively and extremely you manifest this element of what you love and what you find beautiful. So on top of that, the square to Saturn will anchor. If you didn't have the square to Saturn, unconsciously, you would just manifest things out of proportion. Saturn is the limiter in check through your attitude that makes it so that everything you touch doesn't just immediately expand into oblivion. And so this is what, in an odd way, with your Libra moon creates balance. Whereas the Jupiter puts the Saturn in check. Because if you didn't have Jupiter, you'd be hella cynical and you'd be like, oh, you know, wow. Not really depressed, but you would be too critical of things. So this gives you the ability to believe in the unseen, but to also anchor what you're seeing into beliefs that have integrity. And this is things that you're going to break through as soon as you come in your Saturn return. So now the fun stuff. Neptune and Uranus represent extra dimensional channels that tie you into the astral realm of imagination through Neptune and the causal realm of the mind through Uranus. These rule your third and second house, respectively. So the way you manifest and then project towards your attitude through visualizing your imagination of the experience around you actively manifests and creates your reality. First, in the sense that everyone can do this. Second, in the sense that when you do this, it's at the goddess level. So it literally happens real time. And like that's a skill. It's not only literally a skill, Saturn in a third requires discipline in how you think about your mindset. Because if you think negatively, oh my God, especially as like a pure Scorpio queen, your reality is going to reflect that instantly, negatively. Something, and I'm glad you agree with that because you may have been unconscious this your whole life until now that it's a literal superpower. It's like, wow, like, the more integrity I have of making my mindset right, this will liberate your lifestyle and experience and the skills you could use to change the environment around you. because this sextiles Neptune and Uranus, you literally have the supernatural ability to reflect the inherent god and goddess within each individual, especially as an instrument of Juno. Juno is a ruler. So we have here that you have an ultimate legend. You literally are a conduit of Hades at its max level, which gives you the awareness of understanding the true nature of birth, sex, death, and power. You can perform psychic surgery. You can assist the dying in crossing over. You can perform exorcisms. You can literally just look at people, give them a death stare, and they will stop bothering you. But it's not in an egoic way. It's in a way where, like a dog will bark at someone evil, you can see the darkness in other people in the form of their character and visibly already at an energetic level work on that without trying to control it, but just in a way where it's like, you don't want this smoke. Know your place. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
not in an egotistical way, in a respectful way where it's like, but what's also very important is that with having that, these indicators and the North Node on the MC makes sense that you're a ruler. The ruler Juno. Juno is seen as marriage and commitment, but I like to see her as rulership because wherever Juno is placed, it really emboldens your leadership. Some people see Juno as a cuck who was just cheated on by Jupiter, but she actually denotes leadership qualities, power in Capricorn, regalness, and will actually hook you up with opportunities. So, square Chiron, you have to use this consciousness to break through glass ceilings because the boldness and power and incredible nature of your personality will intimidate those who you work under or with to either help elevate you or undermine you because they're afraid of your power. But Uranus and Neptune, in very unconventional, extra dimensional ways, helps you express the supernatural nature of your personality by how well your body language can match and connect with other people on a quantum subatomic level. So that based on their moods and beliefs, you are literally mirroring what their body language says. And this is going to square Libra because the Libra moon will feel like, oh, wow, they told me that they like this, and that, but their body language responded opposite, which lets me know that they may not be aware or aware that they feel different. So that's kind of the difference between the square. But this will help you draw on your person and body language all sorts of insight about the character of other people. And with Lilith in the seventh, it turns erotic towards this balancing of wifey and mistress. If Lilith is the homewrecker mistress or the erotic expression of sexual feminine sexuality, which is going to be expressed through your emotions and how subtly you can attract this from others' feelings too. It's like an erotic sense of empathy that you can't turn off, which sometimes sucks because some people will assume you're hitting on them and you're not. You're just sexual like that. It's not like you know what I mean? It's like it's
Yeah,
not like
I
you
do.
meant to, right? And some people are like, whoa, and then you have to be like, I don't know. It's interesting. It can cause the need for boundaries, but regardless, it's also a very alluring part of you, and it will attract that dynamic in relationships with people too, um, so that you can maintain this image of the good wife, which is Juno. This is who you are, like this your archetype, but in the most fantasy way ever. You are the Neptune, Uranus, unconventional genius, fantasy. You express genius. You channel high frequency beings. And the reason why it's very important is this is so controversial. You're awakening this for the first time. So science will not catch up to this until at least half a decade when your generation pushes forward this with y'all existence. So I mean, so awesome. So awesome. Um, I'm really gonna close with your destiny. You're meant to take all of this power, and cardinal destinies is the actions you move forward with in Libra with other people. So this is going to clash how incredibly you integrate your personality as this ruler of going into these communities where the artists are who push the art and leading them, creating opportunities to involve artists in your community to push forward and lead forward the influence of politics, social issues that you will address, balance, and heal. And MC is your legacy. Uh, your legacy is going to be tied into how you balance society and lead forward artists. And destiny tied to your legacy means you're meant to be famous. meant to be famous artists too. It's just 12th house to this. The challenge is having faith in the direction you take your career, even if no one else sees it. Because 12th house to your son, this could be hidden fears or an unconscious dynamic that you may not see the impact you have on other people, especially if you're hard on yourself. So just something to keep in mind. But did you have any questions at all?
Um, I feel like you answered a lot of my questions in different ways with everything you said. Um,
That's awesome.
yeah. I
And
um I,
oh, go ahead.
I'm a nail technician here in Hawaii, and I was actually thinking about relocating with my 3 kids, but I am a single mom, so there's a lot entail with that. And
Okay, so I'm gonna give you audiobooks you can listen to
okay,
because um so for example, you can literally just decide and visualize and see where it is you want to go, what it is you want to do, and it will open up for you. You being a single mom is the reason you gave yourself to limit yourself. And I'm not a single mother, but it is not easy to be a single mother and have to handle all of this. So you're bringing up something that is legitimately an issue, but you are deciding it's a challenge, so it's a challenge. That is literally how powerful you are. Okay? The moment you decide, "Oh, I'm a single mother, so I can make all this happen. I've been able to take care of my kids. I can do anything." You've already given
hmm
yourself proof of this. It's going to open up so fast. So that's not a bad thing you did. It's an unconscious habit that you do to hold yourself back. You have perpetually nerfed yourself your whole life because the evolution quality of yourself scares you. You can manifest stuff so fast, it feels out of your control. And so this is where you can create reasons as it won't you won't be conscious of this, but this is why you can create reasons to limit you. And once the Saturn return comes, you're going to liberate yourself. So I'm including ebooks and Instagram pages that I just want you to listen to and watch and just practice, because Pluto is on your Uranus and Neptune, and it's awakening the unconscious nature of these super psychic techniques and habits that once you just practice, this will align you more to who you've always been, and you're going to realize you do all this already anyway, but this is just going to unlock so much for you. And thank you so much for telling me you're a nail tech, because you confirmed to me that the MC in Libra, it's not always tied to this, but the last MC in Libra with Pluto that I gave a reading to, her career was also in beauty. She did like permanent makeup, or she was like an esthetician. And so we see you are in the beauty industry. Your MC of career is ruled by Venus, which is beauty, and it's in the 12th. So that's going to, it's interesting to
yeah.
see you do that with nails. That's so beautiful. And you help people be more beautiful and feel more confident in themselves.
Thank you.
No problem. Once again, thank you for your patience, for calling in. Please, like, when you get these links, right? You'll see 2 YouTube links. Please watch those as soon as possible. And then the Instagram links, you can just run down them and read as many as you can, as whenever you can. There's no rush. But as soon as you watch those YouTube videos, those come with techniques and abilities you can apply, so that by the time you finish watching those, which are very short, you'll be able to move wherever you want. You just decide, I want to move there, and then things will literally just start unfolding as if you created it, because you did. And yeah, all power to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the links and everything.
No problem. You're gonna get the email from WeTransfer, so I'm gonna send this to you right now.
Okay.
All right, you have a blessed weekend.
You too. Thank you. Take care.
All right, peace.